YouTube should be up in one moment. Bang, YouTube is up. And we're business, we're gaming. Awesome sauce. Hello chat. So today's gonna be a little bit of a chiller stream. Let me find. I'm looking for some chill. There it is. So, first things first. What up, Grayscale? Welcome in, welcome in. What is up, BB Nation? Woohoo! I hear. Okay, so I have not seen anything about D.MON's gameplay. I have not seen a single thing about D.MON gameplay. I saw the trailer yesterday. I saw the tough call. I'll actually put that on for now. I'll put that on right now. And I fell in love. Who is D.MON? Am I this far behind? That's okay. This is gonna be like explained here. Basically, D.MON is part of the mecha squad in Overwatch, or like the same mecha squad that D.Va was a part of. Reported for duty. Hello, understaffed. Welcome in. Welcome in. D.MON was part of the mecha squad that D.Va was in, and then later, I think after D.Va left, took over as like the leader of that mecha squad. And this was a trailer that dropped yesterday. I fucking love this trailer, bro. Oh my gosh, she is so swaggy. And then I read like the comic, or like I watched a video of like her voice actor Lily Peachy voicing the comic, and oh my gosh, no, actually like amazing. I like her character a lot. I fell for the bait. Yeah, happy to see. Yeah, Hammond in this. Okay, Hammond. They low-key got clapped. They low-key got clapped. They need to watch some of my Wrecking Ball coaching videos, because that's like too much of a commitment. Their team's telling them to kite. They stay in. Oh my gosh. No. Okay, if she has like a boop ability with this. No, I'm just like imagining. I remember watching this and I was imagining like that's my Lucio booping up like the fucking like soldier or like sojourn into the air or something. I fly up, boom, into the pit. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Actual volleyball type shit, like the set and then the spike. That would be such a fun thing to do in game. But she's really cool. I like her like sort of leadership type beat. I liked her story of how she was struggling to step into like a leadership role. that was hashtag relatable for me. And I've been DM'd by a lot of people this morning after the gameplay trailer came out that she looks like people think that I would have a lot of fun with her. You're gonna dislike her character / attitude whenever they try to make a leader's force and ham-fist. Yeah, true. Very true. That is true. I'm hoping that I'll be like starry-eyed enough about the kit and the character to like actually like not like okay, this I thought that she was developed really well here. She seems kind of like fine Ryan. I have not seen anything about the gameplay yet. I'll watch this really quickly and then I'll watch the gameplay trailer. I have not seen a single thing about the gameplay. I have not been on my phone today. I have not been on my PC today. Literally, like, I woke up, I did some chores, I made some food, took a shower, went to therapy. I have not seen a single thing except for a few people DM me and saying that it looks like this hero was kind of made for me. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Do we get a new ball skin now? Hope that'd be cool.
No, we're spread too thin. Disregard last, Overlord. Take down the bombardier.
Can the 11th come yesterday? Oh, did she come out on the 11th? What up, Wiz? Vendetta's hot, so it's all good. I think D.MON's low-key a baddie. I think D.MON's low-key. If honestly, that'd be a really fun cosplay. I don't think I could pull. Oh, bro, I just need to go on my Venture arc. I would love to cosplay Venture. I love Venture's design and like their character. I do not like Venture's kit, bro.
You're putting us all at risk. But D.MON,
If we ever see Hog, Zarya, Lucio, or Hammond Mythic skin, we know Blizzard has abandoned responsibilities to shareholders. True.
sorry, D.MON. I'm going after him.
Everyone stop. Just stop.
I'm excited to see your gameplay. But this comic I thought was really, really, really cool.
Ouch.
I liked her in
Simulations
this
hit
comic a
hard.
lot.
And if they'd been real, Kishin, you'd be dead. Kyungsu, what were you thinking? I told
Also,
you to stay in formation.
I'm not gonna lie.
I made one mistake.
You're late. You
Luna,
can't get
which
your
we can't
opinion now.
afford.
No, I haven't watched the
Practice
gameplay yet. I have not watched the
in any
gameplay yet.
battle.
Syed, say it,
You
X
can't
said.
depend on the rest of the mecha squad to pick up your slack.
I seen his Voltron. Yeah, Loki. It does come off as crazy Voltron.
I'm not
The
Diva.
players so much. I'm
Done for the
excited.
day.
I haven't even seen her kit, but I want to play her.
Too far, dear.
Everyone's hyping it up to say like it seems like I like her a lot. It seems like
Yes, sir. I understand. It's hardly been a month.
But she's
I love
looking
melee heroes. I love
Find
sort
that
of like the
footing.
meso aspects of it. Of like you just kind of need to outplay your opponents through your movement and like
D-Bomb?
especially I don't know. There's just something about fighting games that I really like. Like the Vendetta 1v1. If I grinded more Vendetta, I would
I've run
love
through
that
every
shit.
battle
Reinhardt,
since the
that's
Kishin
my
first
guy.
rose from the
That's
sea
my
and
guy.
attacked
Reinhardt's my
Busan.
guy for a reason. I love the fucking hammer
To
feel. I
learn
love getting
each move
close.
by heart. This time,
Like
I sent
spacing
King Bliss to
properly
deal
is
with the
so
first wave.
sick.
He's our fastest pilot, but maybe I'm not utilizing him well enough. Should I have sent Casino instead?
Insecure and taking out our
Casino's
subordinates
brilliant.
gross. Someone
He's
needs
used to
leadership
dealing with
training
grief
before
and
writing
threats.
these.
We all are.
I kind of liked her little
Plan
arc
has
that
to
she
be
went on.
perfect. If it's not, if we lose.
Also filling in like a gap
Took you
of a
long
team
enough.
that
I
like
was about to
eventually,
log off.
or like a really important like
Miss that
figure
call.
in a team that went
Sorry,
like
the
missing or
kind
had to
of
go
thing
somewhere
got
else.
me.
It is really really hard
Sure.
to fill.
How's
I think in a
Overwatch?
leadership position.
We've had some nice downtime since the null sector retreat. Rumor is that we have some other
She's
new
not.
recruits
She's
coming
gonna
on
be
pretty
very
soon.
techy.
I miss
Oh
you guys so.
no 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 no! Don't say that! Don't say she's gonna be techy. Don't tell me there's gonna be tech to
How'd you
learn.
like being the new
Oh
squad
no!
leader?
I'm going to step down.
I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be very honest. If they are high mobility, they have a lot of tech to learn. They are melee focused here. I'm okay with them having a little pea shooter as of the gun. But if there's like really cool dynamics with how she would like utilize her shield and her sword, and she's high mobility and a tank, and she has a lot of tech behind her. I know I cover most heroes on this channel. I might just have to take like a few weeks to just be the best demon. I might just try to become the #1 demon. I would, because if they're that, if they have all of that, they would literally just be made for me. And and if I'm called, I must answer.
No, Kishin attack inbound for Busan. I don't. We're not ready.
Go! Our city and our team.
Do I like Vendetta? I would love Vendetta if I put more hours into her.
Inbound from the west.
When Vendetta dropped,
Move out.
I unfortunately wasn't able to grind her too much because I was so fucking busy with team stuff.
Hana would do every
Um,
day since she left.
Like I was just beyond busy. I haven't been able to put that many hours into Vendetta, but if I grinded Vendetta, they would probably be one of my favorite heroes in the game. Like in terms of their kit.
And between the four of us,
It's just
we've
a
done
it's just a
everything we
DPS
can to
Winston.
protect our city. Casino and Overlord, keep
No,
them
she's
both
not.
back.
Demon would not be available for me to play and face it this season. I believe maybe they have been quirky with that before. They have been quirky with that before.
They're mirroring my moves.
I think
They look like our mechs.
Demon would not be playable in Face It for this season, but they will be playable in next season if we have to play in Masters relegation. So if we get a chance, if we are able to play in the tournament to get up to Masters and not just qualify through being top 2 and expert, I would probably get to play Demon there or next season.
They're perfectly calibrated to match Mecha Squad's fighting style.
I hope they buff Ana because she's about to be very sad. I see. I hope she doesn't have a DM.
Let's re-strategize.
If Demon has a DM, I would be kind of sad.
Time to redeem yourself, King. Really?
Overlord is agile, but King's movement is fast.
I don't know. I always fuck with the stories, like the little it always resonates with me when characters go through an arc of like they try to do something the proper way or the way that it was done before, and it doesn't work, and then they gotta figure it out their own way, or like how they want to go about doing it, how it fits for them. I always like those. I always like those. I know it's a little corny. I fuck with those heavy.
We can do this as we are.
Pardon me asking, but do you ever
not
do the
as
ranked
we were.
lessons
We'll keep
for
evolving,
Atlas Ash
protecting
gameplay?
our city.
Curious because you need to go
each
find the
other.
VOD. I believe
did
I
it, boss.
did.
Don't call me boss.
I did upload the Ash ranked lessons.
Okay. Growing into something new.
You never told me that. They started calling you boss?
Yeah, I'm sitting on 2 videos right now.
I got them to stop. Eventually.
Yo, thank you so much for the vid, Understaff.
Start calling you
Uh,
boss?
Please don't.
How do you feel now about being the boss? I mean, leader of the Mecha Squad?
Oh, the DC
Good,
server, the Ash
actually.
gameplay for the person in
Better
Dallas?
than I
No,
thought.
I did not get to that yet. I
Different,
believe that I
but
put
you were
an
right.
eyes emoji on
I had
every
to find
VOD that
my
I
own way
have
to
looked
lead.
at for the
I
viewer
can't
coaching.
predict every
So if there's not an
outcome,
eyes
but
emoji
every
on
contingency.
replay code, then I have not
But
taken a
until
look
I
at it
go
yet.
back, I'm
Or
no
at least in
longer
detail.
afraid of the
I think
future.
I did look at one.
As
I
the
skimmed
battlefield
over like one
changes,
Wrecking Ball
we'll change with it.
code.
We'll adapt to meet
but-
the next threat.
Okay.
Whatever comes.
Now it's time for me to... Do I watch Flats react to it? Alright, let me... Oh, what? Okay, that's a very cool video, but that's not what I'm here for. D.MON. Alright, okay. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm too excited. Alright, hold on. Let me get my hair out of my eyes. I need to be fully locked in. I need every single one of my cones and rods ready to absorb this gameplay.
Game time. Stick with me.
Dope ass sword. I fuck with the green sword. Wait, she got a spin move? Is she like Garen?
Something's off.
Oh,
All right, squad. Talon's attacking around the world.
bro,
And the
her
first
stance is
final come
tough.
to us. First, they take Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Green used to be my favorite color. Now it's red.
Then their goons
But
infiltrate Grand
green is
Mesa.
like still my second favorite color. And it's
And
like a
after that, all
red,
those
green,
local
and then
start calling
gap
the
between
Hashimoto
everything
clan.
else.
Now these junkers are attacking Busan.
My home. I saw that animation. I know that was ripped from Reinhardt.
Busan,
And I am very okay with that. It could even be
this
Brigitte.
is our city, and Mecca's going to keep it safe. So let's go get him.
Oh my gosh. I get a sword and a shield.
My squad
Okay,
will
fly.
first.
Diva mech flight? Okay.
Engaging shield. That all
You can fly with their shield up? Wait, and you have a piercing move?
guess you owe me one.
You have like a jab? Like a spear? Or like a thrust? Like a fencing type beat?
Guess it's amateur hour.
Okay, wait. Little gun.
Guess it's amateur.
Thank God she's an Overwatch 2 hero. Give her everything. Yes.
Hour.
Make her have a trillion options for everything.
Over here. Playtime's over.
Nobody messes with my city.
Oh, you can sidestep. Oh, there's so much you can do with that. Wait, so how does that work in game? Oh, do you still get demeched?
Lucky for me.
Of course you do. Of course you get demeched. Wow, they...
More than just
Yes, yes, give the hero more.
The party's just getting started. You had it coming. Payback feels good. 나 오늘 폼 죽이는데?
Oh, what the hell? Explosion? Oh, it like forms around her instead of like a... Oh, interesting, interesting. Okay, okay. And it's so fluid, you can switch between... Wait, it's tracking! Oh my god, it's a reactive tracking tank! Melee, mobile, reactive tracking! Oh my god! Wait. everything comes out so fluidly. You can switch between what you're doing so fast. This is an insane micro check. Like, the micro of this hero is going to be insane. There's a gazillion ways that you can min-max this, no? Even if it's like a 1 second cooldown on the shield or the gun, you can slash, shoot, shield dash. Is that her ult? Is it just Death Blossom? Oh, or does she like slow everyone with the initial slash and then do a gazillion damage? August 11th. Oh my god. Wait, that last sequence. Okay, I need to watch this last sequence again. The sidesteps reminds you of how they use the Sand of Essence in Cyberpunk. Oh, that makes sense. That's cool. Wait, that's sick. Okay. D-Mech with a Gatling gun. Yeah. D.MON's absolutely gonna run games, and I'm gonna, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be the #1 demon. That will be my goal. Okay, so I just need to know what the most important aspects of her kit are. Oh my, like, this sequence is so cool. This sequence is so cool. And then that little dash, that booster dash is so cool, and it looks fluid. It doesn't look like it's locked in one direction either. It's a damage vulnerability for all. Oh, wow. Wow, that's really good. I wonder how much her shield is going to have since she has a lot of options. Yeah, true. Her shield shouldn't be that much. I think her shield should probably be like 400, 500 HP, which sounds like a lot, but when you're solo tanking, it's a lot. She does not seem like she would fit in 6v6 much at all. I think that she has too many options for 6v6. So there are a lot of questions. Okay, to determine her value in game and how she's actually going to be wanting to play it and what niche she'll fill. So, as a melee-based hero, you need a lot of HP. You just straight up will need a lot of HP. If her gun is too good while she has a lot of HP, that will be immediately a telltale sign that she is going to be insanely overpowered. Because how the game... Okay. Now, nerd emoji, I'm putting up my glasses. Would you say she's more brawl or dive? This is where we're going to get into. So how the basic flow of fight works for Overwatch is that there's going to be a poke phase, there's going to be a dive phase, and then there's going to be a brawl. We know that she's going to be good at brawl. This is kind of like, she's going to be good at brawl. If you're a melee-based hero, if you are a tank in general, if you are any tank in the game, if you are a melee-based hero in the game, or if you are just generally chunky, or do a lot of damage in a close range environment, you are pretty good in brawl. You can think of heroes like Vendetta, you can think of heroes like Reaper, Brigitte, any tank in the game, Mauga, especially probably has the best brawl phase in the game. Reinhardt also is really good. Her poke phase is what scares me the most, because she seems like she could be a really, really cool hero. I don't think that she's going to have too much dive. And what I mean by dive is like the burst, the actual engage into something. Like, so Winston has their leap. They're going to do a lot of burst damage. It's kind of like a 3-2-1, blow this person up. That's the dive phase. It's the actual engage. Because sometimes if you're on, say, for example, like Winston, Tracer, Sombra, you're not exactly going to be able to poke them too much. So if you're against a better brawl comp, but you're on there on Winston, Tracer, Sombra, you can't really outpoke them. You can't really outbrawl them, so you need to make sure that burst, that initial engagement gets a lot of resources out, or you get a kill. I don't think that her kit seems too suited for that initial burst damage. I think that what's scary is going to be poke and brawl, which is okay because dive has been falling out more and more in Overwatch, in current Overwatch, because there's just too much sustain. There's Suzu, there's teleports, mobility. It's hard to get good dives off. dive heroes had usually lean a little bit more pokey with their playstyles now. So if her gun does too much damage, this hero is disgustingly good. But if their gun doesn't do too much damage, then they're going to be kind of like a brawler. They're going to be a really cool mobile sort of map control based brawler where you're going to be able to take a lot of angles. You're going to be able to poke out the enemy team with your little pea shooter while you're slowly inching forward towards the enemy backline, similar to how Winston does now. I love Winston now. You're squished between D.MON from the front, D.MON from the back. Which way are you moving? Probably to D.MON, I will be honest. I low-key hate... I dislike D.Va's character, I won't lie. I liked her in the comic, though. D.Va has been growing on me.
I could do this all day.
Okay, but yeah, you swing on the shooters. The shield makes her poke. Yeah, the main questions, how much numbers on her shield? How much damage does her slashes do? How much damage does her gun do? And what's the cooldown on her boosters? If I know the answer to those questions, I can make a pretty good assumption as to what her role would be in the current landscape of Overwatch and how good she would be fundamentally. But until I know those,
Play together, win together.
fundamentally she's gonna be fucking, like, she just does everything. You have movement, you have brawl, you have poke, you have shield. It's kind of insane. Fundamentally she does a lot, and any melee based hero is really difficult to balance, or any sort of brawl focused hero is really difficult to balance because like since Overwatch is an objective based game, everything always ends in a brawl in the end.
Something's off.
Sword is right click or switch sword slash shield. Oh, interesting.
Talon's attacking around the world.
Gun could be on a cooldown like shift or E. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Any horizontal direction. Can you like move it around? How much flexibility is on that?
And after that, all of Tokyo goes dark under the Hashimoto clan.
Oh, right. Doesn't Overwatch... This is the wrong account. That's fine. Overwatch. Yeah, play Overwatch. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. Propulsors in any horizontal direction, so not vertical. Very, very, very important to note that this is not vertical. No vertical mobility is a very big limiter on what she is capable of doing. It's not like D.Va, who can be anywhere at any time and stage easily anywhere. This is a brawl hero. I like that. That is good. That limitation is really good. Boosters are fuel based. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Activate a rapid fire machine gun. So that is an ability. While barrier is destroyed, strike forward to damage and push enemies back. So you got a shield bash. Well, I think it's like a spear forward type deal. Eject will always be fucking broken. Is she what's her sub role? Is she a stalwart? I think she Bruiser would be really interesting. This hero as a bruiser would be really, really, really cool. That would be a really sick sub role for her. A stalwart? Yeah, okay. Beast Within, Plasma Saber, now... Whoa. Hello? These are minor perks? I don't even know what, like, I don't even know the numbers yet. Heals a shield for 40 health, so I guess this is situational. But this? What? I mean, I guess for a while, you're just going to want to be swinging down people. Like, while you're using boosters, you want to be boosting aggressively towards people, I suppose. But if you're just trying to maneuver around the map to get yourself into better positions to brawl, that seems really good. Also, my question is, with the propulsors, are you still affected by gravity during those? Is it like a Juno horizontal lock, where if you start them on like a high ground, but then like the ground is like a little bit lower, do you just float above it? Or do you go down to the next low ground? That's something I'd like to know. Lists her gun into the building and says her boost run out of fuel is a resource. Trailer made it look like a Juno boost. That is very significant and very, very good for me. Because it, like, initially ground tanks are going to be like, the people who lean towards ground tanks I think are going to be pretty good at this hero since it's a horizontal lock and not vertical. So a lot of dive concepts or dive based tank concepts that you would learn on Ball, Winston, Diva type beat are not going to be as applicable for this hero. But with brawl tanks, with ground tanks, where you stage is by far the most important, because it will allow you to get into your effective range to start swinging your shit like way easier if you stage in the right spots. So if you're able to use this as like a horizontal lock, it's like this booster, I know a lot of spots off the top of my head where I could be using that to stage really, really nicely, especially with this. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice for staging. Surging strike gains 100. Okay, yeah, fuck you, sure. These are really good mages. I like these. More brawl or more poke. Stronger shots with no spread at a slower rate. This scares me a little bit. Oh, wait, this is a fusion repeater. So this is when you're demeched? What? Oh, wait, no. That's a portable, and then this is a... I'm not sure. Yo, thank you for the follow, Elixir. Show the beginning of the gameplay if you want to look. Okay, yeah. I'll take a look at 1 second. I want to know if this is a cooldown. That'd be interesting if the gun is a cooldown. It's probably not. Is the gun on her shoulder? Yeah. So interesting. Her swinging actually doesn't look like it does crazy amount of damage. Or at least it doesn't have like that much oomph behind it. No Twitter.
Game time. Stick with me. I'm taking charge. Something's off.
John Quinn mentioned Dev said Demon in a stalwart. Okay, awesome.
Alright, squad. Talon's attacking.
Oh, right, they always have those little like dev interviews where they just show like the real like unfiltered gameplay, no?
It's safe. So let's go get him. I'm locking in.
Oh, yeah, that is a horizontal lock, huh?
I'm locking in. My squad always comes first.
Why did it look like they had vertical control?
I'm locking in. My squad always comes first.
I guess it does look just kind of like a horizontal lock. They just go down a little bit. That's what confuses me.
I'm locking in. My squad always comes first. Engaging shield.
It's probably happening on the 10th when the new season trailer is released. That makes sense.
I guess you owe me one. Guess it's amateur hour.
Oh my gosh, I get a melee hero and reactive tracking.
Nobody messes with my city.
I was really excited for when Malga came out. I was like, yes! Yes, I get an I get like a mechanically intensive tank. I get a hero that I could actually aim with because I just play so much. I just play a gazillion hours of Kovacs when tanks usually don't. Or at least I did at the time. I need to lock back in on the Kovacs Hikey. But I was super excited, and then Malga turned out to just be Malga, where I'm pretty sure that like you could just find a hamster to drool on a keyboard and get really good at that hero. Yeah. Interesting. You can jump out. Ball requires... Oh yeah, ball... Like, you don't actually need to like aim that much. But the better mouse control you have on ball, the more grapples you can play for. Because some grapples end up being really precise.
The party's just getting started. Just my last.
Yeah, but you don't need to have crazy aim on ball.
Son, this is our city, and Mecca's going to keep it safe. So let's go get him.
So,
That all you got?
how much HP does her shield have?
I guess you
The shield, I suppose, is like... I'd imagine it's similar to like Brig's shield, where it's just kind of like a personal, like, take less damage type beat. My question is, how fast does it regen? If it regens like Reinhardt's shield, Reinhardt's dead. I'm sorry. My boy is gone. Because if it regens really fast, and you have way more mobility, and you're still a similar level of like a threat at close range, especially since you're going to be able to sort of shoot through DMs and like shields and whatnot, if you're going to slash your sword through shields and whatnot, that's scary for Reinhardt. Yeah, Reinhardt found dead. But if the shield doesn't regenerate as much, then Reinhardt still has a place, I think, as kind of like a walker. Yeah, the minor perk would help a lot. D.Va's the buggiest hero in the game, since internally they're two heroes or something like that. Yeah, I was surprised about that too, since D.Va Mech, over the course of Overwatch's history, has been by far the buggiest thing in the game, and that's including Doomfist. And Doomfist was a hero. Maybe she's able to stop the boosters when she falls and she can restart them back up. That would be interesting. Ooh, that'd be very interesting. No Gaster. I think it's like... I just want to see a little bit more. I just want to see a little bit more. That grants self over health and amplifies damage taken by enemies. I'm getting the red skin for her, bro. She would look so tough with red hair. And like a red mech. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're gonna be a dive brawl hybrid where she's worse at diving than D.Va, but worse at brawling than Reinhardt. I would love that. That would be sick. That would be a really cool niche. Though, unfortunately, Reinhardt low-key kind of sucks at brawling. I won't even lie. Compared to, like, Mauga? Damn. Ramatra? Damn. How to make Reinhardt work isn't even through his brawl. It's just through the fact that he's able to sustain and get his, like, shield health and armor back way faster than the other tanks. That's the only advantage that Reinhardt has, as well as, like, the actual nuanced interactions that his kit is able to play for. Like, he can block Mizuki chain, he can swing through DMs and whatnot, where like other places at Malgo would struggle. But his pin fucking sucks. his ult low-key kind of sucks. Like his brawl is just not that amazing. But since this is a new hero, and this is my favorite part, because she's a new hero, that means that you gotta make your new hero pretty damn good. You gotta make your new hero good for the marketing. And I think this will be a hero that I just need to know how the boosters feel. Like I know, like I could analyze how good she'll be if I knew the numbers and the specifics about these other abilities. But in terms of my actual enjoyment of her, I need to know how the boosters feel. If the boosters feel good, I would adore this hero. If they don't feel that good, it's a little hard to have a movement hero when your movement doesn't feel good. Like it's like even though ball is like insanely hard and like 99.9% of matchups, I'm still queuing ball when I'm having a bad day. Because it just ball movement just feels amazing. That's awesome. Is there any other content with D.MON out right now?
Hi, everyone.
I'd love to see if like the devs August 10th, so on Monday, and then Tuesday is the patch. Which is kind of crazy. I'm going to have to play potentially playoff matches immediately after the patch. She also has a lot of armor. Oh, I didn't even see the HP pool. Did it show it at all?
Game time. So let's go get
Where did you see the armor?
Hey, over here. Playtime's over.
Nobody messes with my city.
There's a screen in an article. Wait, do you mind linking the article? I would love seeing that. Bro, Sigma's origin story is so cool. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, lore. Yeah, they sold me on the lore already. Damn, that's cool. Damn, that's cool. That's actually so sick. Wow, that is a lot of armor. Oh, and the gun. Oh, there's so much here. Wait, hold on. There is so much here. Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can only use your spear they said this in the little card thing, but you can only use your spear when your shield is out. Your gun looks like it's on a timer, kind of like a Junkrat concussion mine. Where you can only shoot it for a limited amount of time, and then I imagine it goes on cooldown. That's good to know, and I like that a lot. I like that quite a bit, actually. So that means it's probably going to be less of a poker tool. I think it's probably going to be like the cycle would probably look to be you're shielding up, you boosting your shield to get into like staging spot. You shoot one cycle of your gun at like the enemy team to like soften them up. You use your next boosters in, and then you start slashing, and then immediately, like inevitably, the Kiriko TP's away or whatever, and then you use your second gun to like shoot them down. That's probably what her flow is gonna be like, I would imagine. Yeah, this makes sense. You need your brawl tank to be pretty tanky. And with her not having any sort of like real sustainability like a Malga shout or like a Ramatra form block and whatnot, she needs a bunch of HP to actually stand any sort of chance in a close range brawl against those heroes. I would imagine it depends on how much shield health she has, but she might fall a bit short in terms of brawl compared to some of the other heroes. Image via Blizzard Entertainment, I see. Yeah, we'll definitely see some adjustments. If she's underperforming, she'll get buffed because you gotta have your new hero be good. You gotta sell those skins, especially as like another like hot woman. You're gonna get some skins. You're gonna want to make sure that they're playing or performing pretty well. They buffed Onron when they weren't. They're gonna make sure that she's performing well. I think it's just kind of a cool hero. This is sick. This is so fucking sick, bro. Aside from Mexicans, though, because you hate Diva's kit? Yeah, me too. The article's damage stats? Wait. Oh, wow. Wait, you're right. $60 damage per hit with a 5.5 meter range? Wait. 5.5 meter range and 6. So she swings that shit fast too. What's Reinhardt's? That's, whoa! That is significantly bigger than Reinhardt's hammer. Granted, I think that you can make Reinhardt's hammer a little bit more than 4 meters because of corner swinging. 8, 6, 5. Yeah, but if it's 5 meters, you can make it 6 meters. Yeah, you can swing it like probably, okay, so it's probably like Reinhardt's hammer range when they're corner swinging. Corner swing increases the arc, not the radius. How corner swinging works is it's like, where is it? There it is. Reinhardt's hammer on his screen goes, it's just like this, basically. It swings, this area on your screen will be hit. But, so if you tilt it to like the right a little bit, then it will go like a little bit further towards like that right side area. That's the arc? Yeah, it might be. It might just be the arc. I'm not too good with terminology like that, but I know Overwatch. Arc is the perimeter of a circle at the given 4 meters radius, so the arc is like slice that, it's like a piece slice. I see. Yeah. So then, okay, so it'll be probably about the same feeling as Reinhardt. Fusion repeater. Short burst of accurate range damage. 60 damage per hit. Isn't that a lot with how they were swinging that shit?
Mesa. It's safe. So let's go get him. I'm locking in. My squad always comes first.
Bang, bang. So that's 120 right there.
Engaging shield. That all you got?
And then does it say like the jab? She works very well in rush comps. If you have Lucio support, you'll see some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, makes sense. Does short bursts of accurate range damage? Accurate does not mean potent, though. You can be accurate on soldier from across the map, but I mean, it's only doing 6 damage per shot, and if it's fast, it's fall off. Just get math lesson during my summer break. Yeah. Sometimes Overwatch gets nerdy. I used to have this analyst friend who I would like, I'd head coach a team and they'd be like the analyst for it. And if I ever wanted to figure out something nerdy to like help out a player, like I could just go like send them on a math journey. It was awesome. I haven't. Bro, analysts. I just wish that there were more analysts in Overwatch. I just wish that there was more. I kind of like people were able to value the unique roles in other traditional esports in Overwatch, but unfortunately the scene is very close-minded. Shield and then primary fire. So interesting. I just want to know how our boosters feel. I imagine with like the sidestepping dash that it would be pretty damn, it would feel pretty damn good. That's cool. Okay, so that probably helps with like a lot of coding stuff. Because it's no longer like 2 entities like D.Va is. It's just like kind of one, but like all of these little parts break away. From a coding perspective, that's much easier than what D.Va is. So it just leaves a pilot and then you give her a little gun. That makes sense. Why she's able to D-mech. Horizontal slide movement. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. This is so sick. I still can't stop thinking about this. This is so cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that I'm really, I was a little hesitant about was just like the sound of the slashes.
I guess you own. Guess it's amateur hour.
Like, it just seems like this doesn't like have that much oomph behind it. Like the gun.
Guess it's amateur hour.
It does sound kind of like a pea shooter, but granted, it might just be a pea shooter.
Nobody messes with my.
All right, the like twirl of the sword sounds cool. Oh, that little shing is cool. That ching. That was kind of cool, but I didn't hear that later. Yeah, that's fine. Just your D-Max gun.
Do this all day. Who's next? I could do this all day.
Like, that just seems kind of weak. I don't know, like, the actual slashing of the sword just seems a little weak. Like, when I'm expecting, like, this thrust slash, I'm expecting, like, boom! I'm expecting something, like, with a way, like, a lot more, like, impact. Should make some predictions for the new season patch. Ooh, that could be fun. Okay. We can do some predictions for the new season patch, and then we will probably get into some ranked lessons and then some viewer coaching for a bit. That sounds like a good plan. New season patch. Okay, so D.MON. I don't know if they're going to balance around D.MON. I don't know if the devs are going to balance around D.MON because We don't know how Demon's gonna be yet. So, my predictions. I think Diva's gonna remain the same. I think Domina's gonna remain the same. Domina, I did like what they did with Domina last patch. They gave her major perk, like the extra shield. She has a niche now. She actually has a niche now, which is good. I think Doomfist is fine. I think Hazard might get a slap on the wrist. Honestly, I could see Hazard either getting buff, nerf, or just staying the same. I think Hazard's in a pretty good spot right now. It is a new season, so they're going to try... I think they're going to change just a lot of, like, random stuff. Because that's just kind of how it goes. They need to make... They need to get some stuff going. Junker Queen is either going to be a slight buff or probably stay the same. I think most of the tanks, honestly, are pretty decent right now. But then we get to that one. And then we get to that one. I just hope... what would I even change about Malga? Unironically, and I don't think that this would take Malga out of the meta even. I don't think that this would even, like, really change all that much about Malga. Make Overrun immune to light and medium CCs, but make heavy CCs still take him out of Overrun. That's the nerf that I think Malga should need. Like, it's fine if it's on a 5-second cooldown. It's fine if it basically one-shots any squishy. Whatever. Whatever. All I ask is that it is not completely unstoppable. Winston buff Shirley? Maybe. That'd be cool. Supporter buff for Mizuki needs more healing on his hat or aura field. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a support buff incoming. Yeah, I think Overrun should just be I think Overrun should be stoppable by extremely hard CCs, like fucking Earth Shatter. At least be able to be knocked down by Reinhardt, please. Please let it act like a fucking what's it called? Like let it be able to be collided into by something like a Reinhardt's Earth Charge or like a Doomfist Punch. Like just a hard CC should be able to actually stop Malga run. I'm okay if it's not able to be hindered. I'm okay if it's not able to be booped. Whatever. Just completely and utterly unstoppable is a little ridiculous IMO. There's not even that many stuns in the game anymore. So like a Mei could like maybe even like freeze it or like a... I don't even know, bro. Bob could collide into it. Sleep Dart. Oh, that'd be so nice. That'd be so nice. Ana would actually just be a real Malga counter then. Sleep Dart. I think that's it. I think that's all the hard CCs in the game. I think it's just Earth Shatter, Doom Punch, Roadhog Hook, I suppose, is a big one. But, I mean, you do not want to be hooking the Malga towards you if you are a Roadhog. Sigma Rock. Orisa Spear. May Freeze after they get their major perk. Or Blizzard. Ana Sleep Dart. I'd like it if Brigitte could collide. Cat ult. Yeah, that's literally it. That's literally it. And Malga being so fucking dominant in the tank matchups, I think it'd be okay. I think it would be okay if a few other tanks can stop just their 5-second cooldown. absurd it's 5 seconds. That's the most egregious part. It should just have a little bit more counterplay of it being completely unstoppable, able to one-shot a squishy, 50% damage reduction taken, and it lasts how long? It lasts 2 seconds. There's just too much. There's just too much in this. You can keep cardiac overdrive, you can keep your absurd HP pool, you can keep your fucking absurd damage. Just have some outplay. That's what I'd want. Don't understand why it crits. I agree. That would be the other thing that I'd change, but beggars can't be choosers. I think that its radius for how big it crits from and knocks people down from should be much, much smaller, because how many times I've been fucking slammed through my shield as Reinhardt has been making me a little sad. Orisa doesn't need that many changes. She's in a bit of a weaker spot right now, significantly so, but it's one of the heroes that if you buff her too much, it makes the game miserable really fast. So I don't think Orisa's in... I think Orisa's in a fine spot. They have their little niche. They're not going to be like crazy oppressive. They're good. Orisa's good. Ramatra should get a slap on the wrist. I think just slow damage, do a little bit less, because after Malga's... If Malga gets nerfed, you need to nerf Ramatra. Either just make it so that I still think it's a little bit crazy to be able to weave in block punches. Like, that's kind of absurd. But just nerf slow or shield a little bit, and I think that they'd be fine. Reinhardt is fine at the moment. With D.MON getting added, and I know mobility creep isn't exactly where the game should go, I do think Shield Bash being base kit would be really good for Reinhardt. Though, Reinhardt's one of the heroes you cannot buff too much in 5v5. In 5v5, if Reinhardt is too good, the game becomes miserable really, really quickly. So, I think Shield Bash seems pretty fair to me. Probably give it like one extra an extra second on its cooldown if it gets moved to base kit. Yeah, give it an extra second or two, but just give a little something to Reinhardt. Or if they're able to collide with Malga, high key, that's fine too. Like, if they can knock both them and the Malga down, that's good enough for me. That's all Reinhardt would really need. But Reinhardt, I do think, is in a little bit of a weaker spot right now, and I say that as a Rein 1 trick. But they've been in weeks. They're only playable right now just because the landscape of the game is very, very, very favorable for them, and they're an extremely unexplored and misunderstood hero. Not many high-level players understand how to utilize Reinhardt effectively, I don't think. Roadhog. Fucking do whatever you're gonna do to that guy. Hogvia's pin pen back? That'd be cool. Hello Narukat Ho. Oh, let me pull up Discord actually. I saw that Bloom isn't gonna be here for match today. Yeah, Roadhog, I don't really care what happens to them. I think they're in a pretty fine spot right now. I think they're maybe a little bit overtuned, at least with their combination of cat, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Sigma's in a really good spot. Winston, I would say for Winston, it would be really cool if you made Electric Charge base kit. I think making Electric Charge base kit or making it so that you have the option to throw Bubble again would be really, really, really cool. I think Winston is overdue for a buff. I think that Winston's extremely hard in the current landscape of the game. Still, I mean, it's hard. Well, I mean, in terms of balance for the overall game, like, you want to cater to the general population. I think Winston is a hero that if you are disgustingly, amazingly good at the hero, they're just going to be Thanos. You have the options to outplay most of the things that you would play into, but it is ridiculously hard to the point where the majority of players should, like, it's very hard to play Winston. Because the other guy could just go Mauga and sit on the point. I think the Electric Charge being base kit would be very nice. And then you get a new perk, new minor perk. Ideally something to help with like a little bit of CC or something. Hell, I think you could just kind of make any, like either of the minors, if you make base kit, that would be awesome. Majors, I don't think that you should make them base kit. Maybe a nerfed healing bubble. If you have it like 20 healing per second for bubble, that would be kind of cool. That would be pretty sick, actually. Especially with bubble being such a long cooldown at what? 12 seconds? Yeah, you can. I think being able to heal in it a little bit would be pretty good. Chain Lightning should never ever be base kit, but I can see the devs potentially experimenting with it. It should not be base kit though. I would like it. Me personally, I'd be grinning ear to ear if Chain Lightning was base kit. I would be super fucking happy. I don't think it ever should be. I don't think it would be good for the game. Revert his armor nerf? That'd be kind of cool. You're playing Winston who would only choose Chain Lightning. It's miserable. True. Bro, that's how people play against us. No hero ruins my enjoyment of the game like Hog. Yeah, Roadhog is just really annoying to play, guys. Never played his get again if Chain Lightning's base kit. Fair enough. I think I need chair. Not a big fan of this other one. Ball needs a nerf. Well, Ball needs a nerf and Ball doesn't need a nerf. It's similar to Winston, where a really, really good Ball is Thanos right now. But they are very, very hard. They keep giving Wrecking Ball training wheels. Like, you've, like, adaptive barrier, grapple retract, fucking being able to give your teammates shields. Like, steamroller. All of this is just training wheels. And it's still Ball is still probably the hardest tank in the game, and it's not even close. Yeah, it really isn't close. Ball is still just the hardest tank in the game. So I think Ball needs a little bit of a nerf. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I think there's a world where other tanks have experienced so much power creep that becomes necessary to do something drastic to Winston, like baking that Chain Lightning into base kit. If Chain Lightning becomes base kit, that Chain Lightning, a running joke that's been going on for years is like, I'm married to Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is my wife. I love this. I have 3 wives. It's a McDonald's apple pie, the Costco $1.50 hot dog, and Chain Lightning. Those are the big 3 in my life. Those are the 3 special ladies. But this one is Chain Lightning being base kit would be a little bit too good for the game. I'd be happy. It'd make me happy. Everyone else? I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Is Doom not harder because he's kind of ass? Doomfist is... It goes to that idea I was talking about a little bit earlier of like brawl, or like the stages of the fight. Like there's like a dive, poke, and brawl. Doomfist is pretty solid in the brawl phase, being able to clean up kills really consistently, while Wrecking Ball and Winston struggle with that a little bit. In the brawl phase, they have a little bit less staying power. Winston, with their bubble cooldown, can actually have a good bit of point presence, but Doomfist is pretty good there, so you can play him in a lot more of a front-to-back direction, which is generally going to be easier and less complicated than making sure you're always in like the optimal spot on the map. While Doomfist has an insanely high skill ceiling, the skill floor of the hero, I think, is a little bit lower than Wrecking Ball or Winston. Because you can, high key, to play Doomfist in a way that will get you value. Anyone who wants to be climbing ranks on Doomfist, I'm going to tell you the secret sauce right now. Punch in, slam out. Punch in, slam out. Punch in, slam out. And then once somebody gets really low and you think that you can kill them, punch in, shoot, 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 get low HP, slam out. It's as simple as that. There is CC in the game that you have to be wary of, but for the most part, just punch and slam out. Yeah, Doomfist is similar, Doomfist is similar to Winston or Baldo, where a really, really good player on the hero can just absolutely break the game, but you have to be really good. Zarya, keep them where they are. I think they're fine. Maybe if Mauga and, like, if the other sort of, like, oppressive tanks get nerfed, like Mauga or Ramatra get nerfed, keep Zarya in check, because it's one of the heroes where they're like mid or weak until they're disgustingly good. It's just kind of like a threshold hero with most numbers based heroes. As soon as Zarya's numbers are just a little bit too hard to deal with, it just becomes really oppressive really quickly. Anran, I think we could have... Anran's just so hard to balance. I think Onron's in a kind of okay spot. I would like to see a little bit more damage on the left clicks, not the right clicks. On the left clicks, I'd like to see just a tiny bit more damage. Yeah, 44 per volley. Yeah, just make that 50. Just make that 50, I think. So it's 100 if you hit both headshots. Yeah, that seems fair. That seems pretty good. Baptiste is so much fun. Evie, we must queue. Okay, I was gonna do ranked lessons in a moment. Maybe we could do the first grouped ranked lessons. I'm turning into an Ana one trick. What other support should I learn? Probably Baptiste. Yeah. If you have like Ana Bap in your pool, they're gonna play for really similar ideas. They're gonna play just generally they're going to play generally similar as well as demand similar mechanics. Yeah, the correct answer is Kiriko, but do what's fun. If you pick the hero that's fun to you, you will find the most success over like long term. What up, Supine? Reaper, they need a nerf. They're not gonna be nerfed. Not okay at once. Ranked lessons. Okay, I'll continue these onward. Queue. Game looks kind of laggy on stream. Yeah, every time that I'm in a hero selection, it will like it demands so much from my computer. It'll just chunk the frame rate a ton. I did support. I did. Oh yeah, this tank. Kill whatever you want to be happier if Winston was meta. Yeah, I think if Winston was meta, that's a hero that would be really good for the game if they were the strongest. If Winston's the best tank in the game, I think the game is in a pretty damn good state. Xion, I like where Xion is. Maybe just a slight nerf to like the bike damage. I think that her burst potential is a little bit too insane. Or the range. She just kind of does everything. Xion just kind of does everything. Just push her a little bit more into a niche. I don't really care which one that is. If it's like more burst damage, if it's more sort of range pokey style, I don't really care. Just push her towards one niche. She just kind of can do everything right now. Bastion, Bastion's fine as long as Cat's nerfed. Ashe is fine. Don't think it needs a nerf. Sierra, I don't know anything about this hero because in high ranks, she is quite bad, but I know that she is just a really huge issue in the majority of the ranks. So just probably just like, yeah, I agree. Probably just rework her completely. Her drone, I think her drone can stay. Her drone is a cool idea. I'm not a big fan of grenade swap. I think it's just a gun. Just change her gun around. Make it so like, I don't know. It'd be cool if like the tracking shot made her gun like hit scan instead of... Yeah, make her tracking shot like make a cooldown that lets her gun turn into hit scan or something. That'd be kind of cool. So that way you could just like spam, you can consistently pressure on main, like have that consistent damage. And then if you want to go angle, you don't have to worry about someone just instantly cutting a corner. You can like throw like your anchor drone to like a side angle, you can grapple over to them, and then you can select like your hit scan based like ability, make your gun hit scan, and then you're actually a lethal threat for a few seconds, blow somebody up, and then maybe even like grapple back towards fate. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. And then nerf the damage on her projectile and put it a little bit more into that little power spike that she still has and make it a longer range hit scan tracking. That'd be really cool. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, Dr. Bussin. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. I appreciate it. That's awesome. But yeah, Sierra is just kind of really wonky. I think Sierra rework could be good, and if you're not going to rework her, probably just nerf the damage or the nade. I think she just has a few too many quirks. I think Cassie's pretty fine right now. I don't have an issue with Cassidy. I never like Fan the Hammer, but whatever. I think Cassidy only becomes really oppressive with Cat, but we'll get into that soon. Sojourn's in a pretty good spot. I like where Sojourn is right now. I think that she's actually probably the fairest that Sojourn's felt in a very long time. Sojourn feels really fair for me right now. Whenever I play her or play against her, it's like, if I'm dying to the Sojourn consistently, it's like, yeah, okay. They're just playing better than me. I'm getting outplayed. Or if they're like chunking me too much. Like, she still has a lot of carry potential, but she also like can be outplayed. I think that Sierra or Sojourn's in a pretty good spot right now. Double slide could be looked at, yeah. I think double slide is a little bit strong on you, not Okado. But I'm supposed to be doing predictions, right? I think they are going to nerf Xion a little bit. They're going to fucking, for some reason, buff Reaper again for fuck you. I think Onrun might see a little bit of a buff. I think Ashe will remain unchanged. I think Bastion will get nerfed, though I don't think that he needs to. I think it's literally only Cat that makes him strong. Sierra's probably going to see a nerf. A reload change? That would make me so happy. That would make me so happy. I'd actually really enjoy Ashe if they got a reload change. I don't think Cassie will be changed. I think Echo will probably remain unchanged or see a slight buff. Okay, but I'll continue that in a little bit. But for now, we're going to be starting our tank ranked lessons. I might be doing some DPS or some supports later. If anyone has hero requests in the chat, feel free to drop them if you want to see any tank in specific, or if you have any questions about gameplay or want my input on anything that I do, or want me to elaborate on something, feel free to drop it. Though this will be our first grouped ranked lessons, where I'll be queuing with my teammate Nadokado, who I think will be practicing their Mei. Do we hear comms? Yeah, I'm not going to be in VC with Nadokado at the moment. Imagine they don't nerf Cat. Oh, they might not. They might not nerf Cat. What the hell? Let me do this, and then do this. And then did this. This, and then did this. And bang. We're in a good spot now. But ranked lessons, for anyone who's just tuning in, it's just basically I talk through my thought process that allows me to get up to champ consistently on all roles as I pick, or as I play through different heroes. But locking in, oh, I didn't start recording. Hold up. Bang. Alright, and locking into this first game here with Suravasa with Mei, Detta, Cat, and Ana. I think that probably I'm gonna be trying to lean into a little bit of Winston at the moment, or Ryan. Alright, I'm gonna start with some Winston here, just because I need to practice it a little bit for my match later. And Winston's really good in a lot of different places, and Saravasa is one of those maps that you can kind of play anything on and find quite a bit of success on. So we see them on a Malga. That immediately tells me that I'm not going to be wanting to fight sort of things like front to back or in like a really aggressive fashion. I just want to kind of be like slowly taking space and whittling them down. So I'm just going to be playing around these high grounds quite a bit. We see their Malga on the point, so I'm going to go for like a quick little bubble cycle here. My Mei looks for a wall as well, and we are able to force their Malga off the point. As soon as they start stepping back up though, I'm ready to kite out and back, because like I mentioned previously, I really don't want to be fighting that all that aggressively or committed to any big fight, since their Malga is just going to win the number trade over time. Tracer finds a pretty good angle onto me. I'm going to see if I can find an angle onto their Kiriko. And as we see them dropping, I'm going to see if I can just get onto the point now. We're up quite a few members, so I'm just going to be seeing if I can now take this number trade against the Malga. And it looks like we are going to be successful in doing so, only after we sort of whittle down their team by playing like a bunch of longer distance space. Since if I try to jump at their Malga early while they have all their teammates alive and their cooldowns ready to fight me, I probably will just blow up. Tracer on our Mei, but our Mei is able to find that kill, and we see Malga on this low ground. So now that I see that most of this Malga's team is out and about, I can just probably put a bubble down. That way he's not able to regenerate any health off of me. And we will be in a pretty good spot here. I'm going to stage up to poke a little bit, see if I can force out any early cooldowns. But I'm immediately going to back as soon as my armor is gone, since my Ana is still chilling on point. They don't want to be playing up. We don't actually have that much mobility on our team. So we just want to bait them into these open areas quite a bit. But I can be looking for some non-committal plays. As I see my cat going for a cat nap really quickly, I'm going to keep an eye on that right side. My Mei pops Blizzard, so I'm going to be utilizing this as a way to step forward. But unfortunately, they're going to pop my bubble with their Kitsune Rush early. I was going to see if I could just help out our Blizzard there. But it's going to fall short a little bit in terms of like my raw numbers. My bubble's gonna get popped a bit too early, but that'll be okay since we have quite a few ultimates to retake here. See Malga on main, Tracer on right side. I don't want to be playing into their Malga. I see their Malga on left, so I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm just gonna take some space on right, and that will allow me to get onto their team very easily here. We see their Kiriko. My Dada's taking some space. So now that their team is walking out a little bit, I'm going to see if I can just get some pressure on the point. As the Malga pin's on, we chunk most of their HP. Xion using their ult. It's going to be a little bit scary. I'm just nervous about maybe even Cage here. My Dada's looking for another touch. Unfortunately, they get chained. I don't think I'm going to be able to find kills with Primal here, so I'm just using it to try to stall for a bit to get my Mei onto the point. Unfortunately, we do not have block on our way back, so I'm just going to try to keep touches for a little bit longer. Bubble comes out. We do force Cage, which is huge. That is going to be really, really nice for us in this, or going into these next points, because Cage is one of the few things that stops us from going from even like really soft committal plays, like going for any sort of like drop downs from the high ground and then bubble and then jumping back up. We won't be able to do that if they still had their Cage. So going to these later points, I'm going to take this high ground area, and as I see them all stacked on that point, I'm just going to take space around them, see if I can bait their team to look at me a little bit. We find their Mizuki in, we force out their teleport, and now my Vendetta is able to get them quite low on their engage, and we can trade them out while chasing down the Mizuki. And we are able to find the Sojourn because I'm just still playing like completely away from their Malga. I'm going to let my Mei and my Ana handle their Malga for the most part, and I'm just going to make sure that I can find the spots on the map where I have a winning fight. That's the majority of how I'm able to consistently win games on various different heroes. I'm just asking myself, where are the winning fights for me on this map? But as we see their Mauga pinning in, I'm going to jump somewhere else because I can't really do anything about that. And I am going to chase down this Mizuki. Both Heal Bubble and Chain Lightning are pretty solid in most instances. I almost always lean into Chain Lightning just so I can farm Primal a little bit faster, but either one is completely fine. So if you're trying to play Winston, if you have a specific preference that it just feels good to you, don't think about it too much. I think for the most part, people overvalue perk choices quite a bit in this game, when majority of the time it doesn't really matter. Massive stun from my jetpack cat, unfortunately. Goes down, but as we force out their Kiriko's TP and their Suzu, they're going to be a little bit vulnerable. I'm going to commit here a little bit aggressively since I have my Primal Rage coming up. We see their team stabilizing on the objective with their Mizuki ult. I'm not going to want to fight that too much, and Mauga's walking up towards main. So I'm going to take a little bit of a risky jump, even though I don't see their Mauga yet. I have my Primal Rage ready to get away, but it seems like I won't need it. And we've completely split off their Xion, so I'm going to see if I can try to take them down here. Unfortunately, their Kiriko is able to help them out. Going in a little bit further, and now popping my Primal. I think we got them, so now I'm going to turn around somewhere else. We see their Mizuki, and I'm still within their TP range, so we can just clean them up as well, and we'll be winning this game. Or point. And for those of you sort of keeping track or paying attention or who have watched my previous ranked lessons, I usually do these in a solo queue. This is the first time that I am in a group during these ranked lessons. This is my teammate, Nadokado. We have a match a little bit later, and unfortunately our normal flex CPS player will not be at that match. So our hit scan player is preparing by warming up their Mei a little bit, which is a rather integral part to most of our team's comps. But we're not in like a Discord call or anything. While they are a good player, I would be doing basically the majority of things completely the same here. If I was in solo queue or in group, I very rarely change based off of who I'm playing with. But as we win the first fight on this point, I'm going to stage up here a little bit. My main job, like as I mentioned at the start, is I'm not going to be able to win any big raw number duels against their Mauga or their team. So I'm just trying to find ways to sort of like slowly bleed out the enemies before they get into a really deadly spot on the map. So here we see quite a few people looking at me. Their Xion looks to commit. They forced out my bubble, but we took out their Tracer and their Xion for quite a while in that fight, and that makes it so that their cage had very little follow-up. I am 1 HP. I'm going to try to do my best to live here. A big cat ult unfortunately goes down. Mizuki's 1 HP, and we are able to find that kill. I may have not had blocks. I'm going to see if I can help them out a little bit here. We are successful in taking down their Mauga. Tracer's 1 HP. I'm going to see if I can find that kill. And we are going to be able to do that as well. So we're going to look in a pretty good spot. Like, even though I didn't get too many kills that fight, I still got a lot of value initially by slowing down the big sort of damage dealers on their team from following up with their Mauga steps so that their cage wasn't able to get that much value. And here I can do something similar in making it so that their Mizuki is not able to follow up nearly as easily. So then, as you saw there, because we cut one of their healers, basically took them completely out of their fight, their Mauga running away was very, very low HP, as my teammates were able to shoot them quite a bit. Now, if my teammates were consistently dying on the Mauga step, even though I was zoning a lot of the damage dealers and the healers, I would probably be looking to put a little bit more direct attention into the Mauga, because I can go for sort of soft bubble trades, but just making sure, and what I mean by soft bubble trade is sort of like non-committal. I saw their Mauga walk this top area, so I was jumping back main as there was enough distance between us to allow for me to go for a hit on that main area. Kiriko using her TP. I'm gonna be just chilling a little bit here. We find the kill onto Mizuki. I'm tempted to primal. As my cat comes back, I think it might be actually somewhat worth. My Tracer goes down. I'm gonna see if I can bait their Xion over to me. Fortunately, I think I take a little bit too much damage, so I'm just gonna be backing up here. Nice headshot from their Kiriko will be taking me down. Unfortunate, I was getting a little bit greedy there, seeing if I could bait them in for like a primal play, but I just took a little bit too much damage and their Kiriko was able to kill me just a bit too quickly before my Ana could really heal me up. Ana's quite low HP. I'm going to see if I can take some aggression. I do think that they have their cage here. Yes, they do. I have my Primal Rage and my Mei has Blizzard. Wonderful play from my Mei. I was going to pop Primal afterwards, but with my Vendetta going down, I'm going to see if I can get onto this Kiriko Mizuki here. As my Ana goes down and we're down both of our supports, I believe, I'm just going to be trying to get out here so I can maybe play for a touch a little bit later. Looks like their team is walking towards me, trying to stop this recontest from me or the jetpack guy, but they gave up a little bit too soon, so I'm able to get this touch on the point. Xion's very, very low. Mizuki ult comes out, and we are able to find the kill into the Kiriko. Cat ult comes out. I'm going to see if I can prioritize speeding up this Xion or Mizuki. We do find the kill onto the Xion, and now the Mizuki. As my Tracer's on the point, I'm just going to kind of AFK for a little bit here. Jumping upwards to know where their Maga is swinging and then play the opposite side while I still get my Initiator healing, which will allow me to tank a little bit of damage even if their Maga does find LOS onto me. Pin comes out. I could look for a hit there, but I think still within Maga's range. It's going to be a little bit too scary. Oh my god, I died. I thought that some of them were still walking on the high ground, so I could go for a bubble cycle, but as all of them stacked on main, I did not have the raw... They had a little bit too much raw damage and were able to instantly pop my bubble and take me out there with their Kitsune Rush. Unfortunate, but that will be okay. My main sort of priority here is I want to farm Primal Rage to get into a decent spot here for this fight. We see their Mizuki. I'm not going to jump on anything yet. I'm going to probably just take their main with my DPS here to see if we can find any big damage onto their team slowly through our Chain Lightning. I could go for a little bit of a greedy jump. I could see if their Maga comes back for me here. And now take our main. Developing angles is going to be something really, really important to making sure that you're effectively sort of bleeding out the enemy team and poking people down. Since if you don't have any angles, they're able to just sort of kite around one corner and then you're a little bit doomed. But as we were able to control the entire map space basically around the point and slowly poke them out with our Chain Lightning Major, and our Detta and our Tracer were able to get a lot of map space for themselves as well, we will be finding a decent engage. Just a little bit of a ways into the fight. I'm jumping a little bit back here since I don't want to be taking all 5 of them head on. Big chain from the Mizuki. What is wrong with them? I'm juggling their Maga primarily here because that's going to be the main source of damage for their team, but unfortunately, when I was finally able to jump, I greeted a little bit too much and I jumped towards the wall when I could have just jumped out towards the point, but me keep popping my Primal there and stalling out their team, allowing my Detta to find enough time to charge their sword is going to allow us to win that fight. Thinking about how I want to be playing these future fights, I would like another Primal on this point, though I don't know how realistic that is, considering their team is desperate to touch here. I'm going to see if I can get their Xion a little bit low here. Bubble off their Mizuki. As the Mizuki dashes forward, their team starts to look at me a little bit. I'm taking a bit too much damage. Damn, she hurts from so far away. I will be going down there, unfortunately. Maybe if I jump at their Xion a little bit more aggressively, but I just didn't have the information. If I jumped at their Xion there on that left staircase and their entire team was there, I would have just basically thrown the fight away instantly. Since I didn't have the scouting, I wanted to back up a little bit more, but unfortunately I just took too much damage on my back there. Huge kill onto their Xion. We hear their Maga pinning towards us a little bit. I hear their Kiriko ulting on main, so I'm going to jump main, and it will happen to land onto their Kiriko. And with a lot of ultimates used from our team, I'm going to step forward, see if we can find any more kills here. Tracer looking in touch, but with the recall force, we will be winning this first game. Awesome sauce. I think that game overall was pretty solid. My DPS were wonderful and able to take a lot of angles and get good aggressions. Awful like sort of space I was creating, but I did overstay my welcome a few times. Like this fight where I ended up going down despite me popping Primal Rage and my teammates trying to respond with their own ultimates in that sort of pit. I did still go down when I had the opportunity to get out. But that'll be more than okay. So let's see how we're able to play in our next match. Bang. So we're losing Flex CPS, you a sub to take the place? Yes. We have a hit scan sub, YT, who is going to be playing in today's match. And NatoCat's going to be looking to fill in for some Flex CPS. There is going to be, I think, a little bit more of like a double hit scan angle. It's why I'm practicing some Winston. Because what our Flex CPS provides, or what Bloom provides with like May Detta, is usually like that brawl. So you'll see it really frequently with Perish Trap comps. We have like a Wrecking Ball Vendetta, like Brig Zen or Brig Wu Yang. A lot of heroes that aren't very good at sort of standing on the point, but Vendetta is able to sort of just like walk and clean up. So I'll be leaning a little bit more into Winston because they're able to sort of just sit on the objective a little bit better than Ball, and I can still demand very few resources. So we're still able to have that like big dive sort of core. It'll be a little bit demanding on me, but that's okay. You know, probably a Reaper if Trade's not working, that'd be fine. Ooh. Tough. Except for the spikes in your eyes. Winston's getting Giga buff next season and came to you in a dream, that'd be awesome. If Winston's buffed and I get a new tank to play, that would be fucking awesome. There's a quiet corner? Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I'm so tired. I know why. I know why I'm so tired, and I'll be good for match. There's just a lot of emotional stuff. But I got games to play. I got Overwatch to grind. But I think it's pretty good to have ranked lessons especially be a little bit lower energy. I always come at like ranked lessons or all of my content, I always just try to be as authentic as possible. So some days I'm gonna be a little bit less energetic, some days I'm gonna be more energetic. Just how to dice roll. But loading into our next game here, we're gonna get Lijiang Tower at the bands of Hazard, Zarya, Mercy, and Kiriko. All very decent bands. I don't think we have anything in mind really for what we want to be playing. I don't think that there were, let me double check here. Love Ryan May duo. I don't think that there were any hero requests, so I'm going to be... I'm gonna warm up my Orisa as well here, since Orisa's another hero that I'll probably be leaning into a little bit more in my match today, so I'm just gonna use right now to get a few more reps on them. You're okay, bro. You're okay. Honestly, it's against like the team that we're playing against. Orisa's gonna be better than Ryan in most instances. But as we see their comp on Queen, I think I'm just gonna front to back their Queen for the most part. They do have a Moira, so I'm not gonna be able to win like super long-term exchanges against them. But we see their cast split. If their cast decides to peak again, I'm gonna be looking to try to follow up on that. But we do find their Queen in a bit of a rough position, so I'm going to see if I can slowly take them down. Unfortunately, their Moira still had quite a bit of healing left. With our Reaper going down, we're not going to have as much damage as we really need to fight that frontline duel. So, a little bit unfortunate, but that will be a-okay. I think for the most part, with this comp matchup, I'm just going to be trying to chill, force out a lot of the enemy threats. It's either going to be like a Cassie flanking, or an Echo flanking, or like just their Junker Queen walking forward. I'm going to be marking out flanks and sort of slowly whittling down the enemy team. But with their Echo going down, I can step at their Junker Queen a little bit more here. I'm going to continue walking as we find more and more damage onto them. Moira looking for their fade. And we can take them down and win this point. Because we have an Ana and Ilaria in main, Xion, all heroes that kind of get a ton of value over time, while their comp is sort of limited by their Moira and their Junker Queen and Lucio. Heroes that love to sort of like play through big burst cooldowns like Xiao and Amp. That's why I'm deciding to kind of slowly bleed out the enemy team rather than go for any huge early or aggressive plays. See their Echo walking up towards that window area, but it looks like as they duplicate their Junker Queen, there's not going to be too much I'm able to really do, especially as their team steps on the point with that dupe. They still have they're coming very close on their ult, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't feed it to them, and then I can walk forward a little bit more. Echo does go down, but my Xion's in a bit of a pinch, so I'm going to see if I can try to clean up what they started here. We get their Lucio 1 HP, we get their cast 1 HP, but unfortunately it looks like they're going to be able, their Lucio's able to evade us, but does go down to the Ana, and then we're able to clean up the cast a little bit later. I was a little bit nervous that Cassie would get away from me too, but we were able to find that kill. I think for a retake here, or for their retake, they're on Sigma now, so I am going to be playing a little bit faster, probably more so on angles rather than just sort of walking at their Sigma. We see their Sig main, I see their I hear their Cassie on the right side. I'm gonna peek my Ana, get some more healing before I really step at that Cassie. I'm just waiting for basically a good time when their Sigma is not able to really like sort of chase me down or pinch me if I go at the rest of their team. Unfortunately not able to find the kill onto, or the spear onto the Moira. And my pull is not going to be able to keep me alive. I always take the minor perk that allows me to do more damage or stay in the fight longer with my gold. Because the movement speed penalty, as well as the making it so that you don't take any sort of heat or gather heat as you're in gold, is really, really useful for cleaning up some kills in the mid-fight, which I value quite a bit, much more so than the ult perk, which will allow me to sustain a little bit longer every like 3 fights-ish. For the most part, I think cooldown perks are more valuable than ult perks because there are more opportunities to get the value out of them in each game. But with them just having a few too many ultimates on their team and we're not able to get into a good enough position to use ours, we will be going down. Yo, thank you so much for the raid, Tail. I really appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream. Good luck on your games. Thank you, thank you. Right now we're doing some ranked lessons. Told Tail. We're doing some ranked lessons. Basically, I'm explaining my thought process on, or like throughout ranked, and explaining what I think about and what I look for to get myself up to champion consistently on each role. Right now we're doing tank rank lessons. We might do some DPS or some support ones a little bit later. We will see. But we are going to be doing viewer coaching later as well. Maybe after the tank rank lessons or one more. But locking back into this next round here. I see that they're still on that Sigma comp and that Lucia's behind us. I'm going to be looking to step forward towards their backline here. I see their Sigma taking quite a bit of space. So I'm just walking at this Cassie and their Moira. There's not too much to really stop me here. So even if I go down, I think that we'll be in a somewhat okay position. I'm not sure how much value that I'm going to get in my practice out of playing Orisa here. I could go Reinhardt, which is going to be a direct... Yeah, I think that Reinhardt is going to be playing for similar ideas and similar sort of value sources to what I was doing on Orisa, but it'll be a little bit more applicable for helping me warm up for my match later. So I'm going to go Reinhardt. We can be swinging at their Sigma quite a little bit more. Now that they're on Pharah, it will be harder. They do swap off of Sigma because Reinhardt is a little bit of a direct counter to Sigma, which is very a-okay. I'm going to probably be pathing through this left side. They're back on the Junker Queen, which will be okay. I'm going to help my Ana get across here, just help them get towards the Mega, utilizing my shield however I can to take any of this early damage. But now that we are getting a little bit closer to the point, I'm going to be wanting to be one of the main threats on our team. The enemy team is sort of just stacking, pumping a bunch of damage to me. Huge nade from our Ana onto the Junker Queen makes it so that they're not able to stack all that much. I'm not able to really get onto people too much here, but as their Cassidy and Pharah are flanking, I was trying to swing onto their Junker Queen as much as possible since that's damage put onto my backline and not onto me, so I want to create some space for my team. But with them having that coalescence up, there's not too much of a way that I can really win that front line, despite their DPS both flanking. But every time I do want to be looking for those opportunities to win front line when their DPS are flanking. Fortunately, I get booped there, a little bit too many boops from their team. I didn't think that their Lucio would be sitting on that corner, nor do I think their Pharah was going to be looking for that. So Ana's chilling in spawn. We can be looking to step on this left side again. My teammates are asking why. You're never obligated to answer any of your teammates in ranked. I've been able to get up to Champ 3 or even Champ 2 consistently on Ryan, even though this game is a little bit hard. You don't have to validate any of your ranked teammates. Usually, from my experience, just talking to them ends up in bigger and bigger conflicts. But amazing kill onto the Junker Queen as well as the Moira. As long as we're able to get a touch here, we're going to be in a pretty solid spot. Lucio getting onto the point, and we are able to win that fight to retake this point here. I have my Earth Shatter coming up. The enemy team is coming up on quite a few ultimates. They do have the Junker Queen ult perk, so I'm not able to shatter them out of their rampage. But I could potentially force it into a bad spot. I'm looking to see where my Ana is, and as they're playing really far back, I'm going to try to play towards them, but unfortunately there's just not much we can really do. Maybe I walked a little bit too forwards towards the White Room, but if their Junker Queen was able to get in range of our backline, then I think that it would have been really, really bad, as they could have just utilized their ultimate to clean up our entire team. Unfortunate game, but that is a-okay. So I think that we're still on a very good sort of upwards trend here, especially for our tank. But even though that loss was a little bit rough, let's see how our next game goes. Bang. Can we see a D.Va or Junker Queen next game? Yeah, I can do that. for sure. I always emphasize those sort of I always emphasize as much as possible to kind of like ignore ranked teammates, basically, because it almost never is helpful for if you're trying to improve. I imagine like most people, if you're on like educational channels, if you're trying to get really good at the game, most people in the game high key do not know what they're talking about, especially those in ranked who will have their SR on the line. They get very, very emotional. They start to like they will flame you for any little thing because it can't be them. They can't be the issue. But any of their flame usually isn't productive, or their criticism isn't productive, and you have no obligation to satisfy their curiosity with why you're doing what you're doing either. If you value your interactions in the game and you really play for the social aspect, then it could be something to consider. But if you're just trying to improve to increase your own win rates and be like good at this game so that you can like perform when you're like queuing with friends or with like in scrims or something, high key just turning off Jad's super fine. Playing with your girlfriend and you saw the most insane game understanding silver and gold. It's almost like they play a different game. Maybe. Bro, silver and gold, they're good. Bro, mechanically, it's actually kind of crazy how much better silver and gold have gotten since like when I was like a gold player. It's actually ridiculous. Granted, it's been probably like 9 years, but even when I was like coaching, like the last gold team that I coached, people have gotten really damn good at video games. Rhino on Lijiang is peak. I love Rhino on Lijiang. It is here. This one. Oh, that's nice. It is a quiet corner. This will be useful for whenever I'm trying to just look at stats. I just wish that's the change that I want in the new season. I just want it to be... I want to be able to hover like the cooldowns in the hero gallery and it shows like this. That would be the best. Oh, that would make me so happy. Do you know about the quiet piano area in the practice range? Oh, yeah. I just added a little bit ago. Was it also quiet? Oh yeah, you can't hear much, huh? That's awesome. No, I'll pause my Spotify. Let Nato cook. Whoa, what the hell? Whoa, that's so cool. Nato is like actually like a pianist. Anytime I'm like streaming Paris Trap stuff, there's like a very good chance that Nada will just kind of like whip out her keyboard and just start doodling. I found an article with info on D.MON, but you don't know if it's trustable, like numbers information. I'd be interested to read it. That's so cool. Is it just Reinhardt grunts? That's kind of cool. I didn't even know that it like cuts out like all the other sounds. That's really cool. Alright, let me do the one thing I know. Do I still know it? Fuck. Fuck. Hold up. No. Thanks. Alright, yeah, you got that. You got that, bro. I've been doodling around with music a lot, and I probably will try to, my sister is a musician, so I'm gonna see if I can grab one of her keyboards or something, because it would be really handy as I start to, like, mess around with, like, MIDIs and whatnot, to be able to sort of write them really fast, just by playing on the keyboard or piano. I used to doodle quite a bit on the piano, but I've lost the skill. I can't read sheet music anymore. I can't do it.
Constructing my teleporter.
We're in this together. All of us.
Hey, Minecraft music, that would be fun to learn. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, let me take a look-see at this. $650 HP. That's a lot. That's a lot of shield. I mean, that is probably around what I would want. Fires in a burst and goes on cooldown. Yeah, that's good. Okay. 5.5. That's what we saw before as well. 60 per hit in a 5.5 meter range. Hold her own in 5v5 as a solo tank. She was kind of a nuisance. Yeah, she can do everything. Key to balancing her came down to fuel mechanic with... Yeah, that makes sense. Like, her fuel, if it feels good to move, she's going to be really fun and good. If you had too much fuel and stuff like that, she would hunt people down. Hudson says she can take up space very well, even though the sword does less damage than Ryan. You don't want to get hit by it too often. Makes sense. Mechs have a unique crit region as well, so when players learn where that region is, it might be easier to hit her. When she's in your face, it's really hard to focus where to shoot her. Yeah, true. Similar to D.Va. It's a lot less? What the hell? 30% of your HP just getting immediately cut is less than what Demon will inflict on you in her ult? I guess it is an ult, but damn. Damn, that's kind of insane if it's a lot less than what Demon puts on you. The movement, this is what I'm curious about. That makes sense. Good interview. I think this seems pretty within the realm of possibility. And it lines up with a lot of what's kind of been released already. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Love when a tank just runs at you at the barrier. You're going hard on that piano? Yeah, bro. Not Okado goated. You like wave dash on her? Of course. It's been too long since we've had a wave dash in Overwatch. There was like a week where you could wave dash on Sojourn, and now we finally let the buddies have their turn. I will absolutely be one of those. Don't get me wrong. Let Lucio wave dash, bro. That'd be cool. Okay. Well, locking into our next game here, we do have some hero requests, either some Diva or some Junker Queen. On Nepal, this is one of my more preferred maps for Junker Queen. Let me see what skins I have. And we are on Overwatch. I think Junker Queen with the bans of Zarya especially. Zarya is going to be one of the heroes that is pretty decent in Junker Queen, though I do recommend if you're trying to one-trick a hero or learn them, learning the matchups can improve a lot of insight onto how to get a lot of value out of different games in different situations. So I recommend, like, don't like perma ban like your hard counters constantly. If you are able to learn how to play against them, you will find yourself winning games or learning things that will help you win games even if your counters are not in them. But with our comp being the Brig, Juno, Mei, Freya, Mei, we're going to be this is a pretty solid comp for us. Junker Queen here, we could be brawling quite a bit. I'm probably going to be looking to poke out their Doomfist here a little bit, but as their team starts to back a bit, I'm just going to be trying to chill here, waiting to get some of my HP up. I hear their Echo flying a little bit close, so I just want to make sure that they are not that crazy close. Oh my god, that guy is shooting me. Cassie's finding a lot of good angles onto me, kind of blowing me up from it. But we do find our way onto the objective, which is going to be kind of the name of the game for us. Don't have my minor perk yet, unfortunately, to reload my gun off of that shout, but I do want to be stepping into this Cass eventually. We are able to get that kill. The Doomfist still close, trying to get onto our Brigitte. I want to see if I can help my Brigitte save my shout, but unfortunately I was not able to get there in time. We messed up their Doom Punch a little bit, but they are going to be able to get out, which will be a-okay. We are down our Brigitte, which is important to note. I'm going to be ready to drop the point if I need to, so I'm going to stage above this high ground. I'm nervous about their Cass taking their right side. I might actually give up flip to walk at this Cassie a little bit early here. Looks like they did back up though. Find the knife. I'm gonna see if I can touch the point. Unfortunately, just a hair late. But we do find their Doomfist off of the point here. Big bola coming out from our Freya, and then later an ult from us. I don't see their Cassie, which makes me concerned about a flank. There he is. I see Suzu use. I'm gonna try to clutch up with my ult here. We dodge the punch. Kiri's 1 HP. Kiriko is going to be the priority target here. No. With the Kiriko getting out, the Doomfist is still lurking around. I'd be a little bit careful here. My Brigitte unfortunately wanted to be fighting a little bit early here than I could help with. Doomfist is out, Echo's in. Echo's going to be the one I want gone here. With their high noon looking to drop off of that high ground probably. I'm just going to be a little bit careful about that. If their Cassie continues to walk on the right side, I can walk at him, but as it's just them chilling on the high ground, I'm going to be positioning myself in a way that will allow me to cut LOS easily. Just use their punch. I'm probably going to get Mizuki chained in this corner. So I hear their Echo use their duplication. I'm going to back up here. Punch coming out onto me and Blizzard on my back line. I thought I saw their Cassie on the right, so I'm going to chill a little bit. Mizuki, no dash inside of our space, is going to allow me to find that kill. We gave him punch, but we can pull him back in here. Kiriko 1 HP, Doomfist low HP, maybe, even though we're losing a few members here. quite nervous about this Cassidy flank, so I'm just going to be walking down this guy. Now, I just want to force out their Kiriko's Suzu here, and then I can play for my ultimate ability. I did see Suzu there, which is going to allow me to hit a big anti-nade onto the majority of their team and look probably win this fight. I'm rushing my shots a little bit too much right now, and I'm missing quite a few of them because of it. So for this next round, I'm going to make sure that I slow down, I take a breath, and I'm not just randomly flicking to try and do like as fast of damage as possible. I want to make sure that I'm doing the good kind of damage. So I just want to make sure that I stay calm and take a deep breath here going into this next map, or this next round. This one might be a little bit harder as it's less of an enclosed space for us to get value out of our axe, and we're going to have to hit a little bit more mechanically demanding shots and knives, but that will be okay as long as we're still positioning ourselves in a way that will cut a lot of the damage out that their Echo or their Cassidy would want to be doing from a range, and still letting ourselves be a threat and present on them. I think we'll be for the most part okay. I'm going to take this elephant area, not necessarily because it's the best for me, but if the enemy Cassidy or long range damage hero takes that space, there's not going to be too much I can do. Looks like they've made quite a few swaps here. So Shion's on that right side. I'm going to be helping out my Mei here a little bit. Unfortunately, they have quite a few angles. Unfortunately, my team staying towards that elephant area, trying to deal with the Widowmaker is a lot of value, but as we were trying to fight in too many spots at once, I will be going down as their team looks to collapse from that main area. Maybe it would have been better if I let my supports try to help out my Mei, and I look to just fight them on main, or like their sort of central walk area, but that's okay. We still are able to win the fight despite that. They're much of being close. I'm looking for knives to see if I can just potentially force out any CDs. I see there's Shion going on that right side, which is something to note. Matra looking to walk down this left area. Unfortunately, my Mei is back, and I'm going to try to stuff this doorway. Because once their team gets out of here, there's not going to be too much I can really do. So despite me going down there, I think that'll be kind of okay, especially since their Shion is about to fall to our Brigitte. I just really wanted to commit there, since if their Kiriko and their Wuyang and their Ramatra were able to walk up through that left side for free, there was not going to be much my team could do whatsoever. That was going to be the fight that I think that is important to sort of commit to, because we have no tools in our team composition's arsenal to deal with them once they get that sort of left side open space set up. Do my ult I'm thinking about using, and I think I will probably here. If nothing but to get out of their Ramatra's range. Now you can actually walk up here or sort of jump up that little drum area, and I did that just to make sure that I wouldn't be inside of their Widowmaker's LOS, who I knew was sort of lurking around that main. But with all of that, we will be holding on to this point. So now we don't have any ultimates. We only have our Ray coming up soon. So I'm just going to be trying to chill on the point as their team is rather desperate to touch. Bubble gets used from their Wuyang. So I'm able to use my Shout and our Ring to get away from it. Now we see that their Ram is still using the form on the point. They do have their... But they do not have the Ram ult actually. They used it last fight. But that will be more than enough to win, since they were not able to get the other ult on the point. My teammates played the role of sort of stuffing them in those little doorways. So I was just able to sort of brawl on the point and bait out their Ramatra cooldowns and their bubble and whatnot. As long as we're making sure that their long-range shooters aren't able to just sort of shoot us for free, we'll be pretty good in that matchup. But if we let them develop, if we give them the map for free, there's not going to be too much that we can do to turn our fate or turn that fight into a win. But since we're able to deny that, we'll be good. How's our queen game? I think that I did get a diva game requested, so let's see. Hopefully I'll find a map that I'm able to do that in our next one. Bang. And then editor, probably me, just cuts right there. Now we're in the next game in the video, and it's awesome. That Kiri living was crazy. Yeah, their Kiriko living there was really hard. I just needed to hit my shots a little bit more. I was rushing too many of them. Now I want to look at the shop. Oh, no, it's okay. I never was able to finish my predictions. Or my meta predictions.
We build a new world.
I don't think they're gonna touch Sojourn too much. They might give Echo a little bit of a buff. But Echo, Soldier, I think are gonna be fine for the most part. Emre, I don't want Emre buffed, but they might buff Emre. Like his numbers, like I think he's fine. I think most hit scans are kind of fine right now. Emre doesn't need it, yeah. I think Freya needs a little bit of a nerf. Sombra just probably needs a little bit of a rework, I won't lie. I think Sombra is really strong in like 6v6 or so. Given her extra utility, but what'd you miss? Not much. We're just doing some ranked lessons. We played a game on Queen. We're able to win just now. Probably next game I'm gonna be trying to lean into Diva if it's a playable hero. Symmetra probably will get a slap on the wrist. I don't think that she needs it. Well, for the general, like, for the majority of teams, and players, I don't think that Symmetra really needs a nerf, but they might give it to her just because she's been so dominant in like pro play for a while. Junkertown. I don't really like Diva here. I might try to play Diva on the last map or third point, but I might start Wrecking Ball here. That would be cool. And loading into our next game here, we're going to be on Junkertown with the bands of Sigma, Kiriko, Zarya, and Widowmaker. I'm going to be playing some Wrecking Ball here. Diva is requested, but I'll probably be playing Diva for our next game instead. I think Diva can just struggle for a little bit on this point, or this map in specific, especially with my supports in the pick ban phase. We're hovering both Lucio and Alari. I think that a really good Diva could pull it off. I think that it's still viable, but I personally probably would not be able to enjoy myself all that much on this specific map or in this specific set of circumstances. But Wrecking Ball is still a very, very strong hero on this map, having so much open space, so many areas that you can sort of tech off of. I'm going to be trying to lean into the Wrecking Ball here a little bit, but trying to play some Diva for next game. So first thing, you actually probably don't want to into your shields for no reason. That was just that finger. With them on Junker Queen, that is going to be something to consider. And Ana, they're going to have quite a bit of CC for me. Mercy as well is going to make finding kills a little bit hard. So with their Junker Queen dropping, I'm going to be looking to pressure this Ashe a little bit here. Mercy is always going to be kind of like the priority target in these sort of matchups when you're a Wrecking Ball, since if your Mercy just kind of out heals most of the damage you're able to do, and most like the cleanup potential that you can have on Wrecking Ball. So trying to find your way and angles onto Mercy early is a really, really useful thing. See their Genji pathing towards this left side, so I'm going to be trying to blow them up. As their Mercy goes up into the air. Continue trying to shoot them out, but as their Ana peels them, there's not going to be too much that I can really do, so I can find this Genji though. As they're very low. I couldn't hit the kill onto, or I couldn't pressure out the enemy Mercy for the reds, unfortunately, but I can find my way up onto this Ashe, and we are able to take them down. They still have their sleep dart for their Ana hero, so I'm just going to be chilling. I don't want to be committing too much. Definitely sucks that our Alari goes down there. Tracer's on their way back. Mercy's low HP, but unfortunately I'm not able to do all that much about it right now, as their Ana and their Ashe both still have great LOS. Their Ashe knows I'm here. As their Queen walks up though, it's going to be one of the main CDs that I'm worried about, not in play. But as their Genji Dragon Blades, I'm going to try to be pressuring their Junker Queen here, and we are able to get that kill. Unfortunately, not able to stop the res, but we can punish her afterwards. As the Junker Queen's close, I'm just going to be spinning around, seeing if I can stop or just shoot out the Junker Queen slowly. And we are successful in holding this. Main drawback to their comp is that they're just going to be forced to play into some open space, which a lot of the heroes want to be playing a little bit more in close quarters, like their Junker Queen, Genji, and whatnot. But the Tracer is going to be a little bit of a nuisance for us. As their team walks up on this left side area, I'm going to be looking to pressure out their Mercy. Unfortunately, not quite able to get that kill or that stun onto the Tracer. But as Ana doesn't have a sleep dart, we can immediately be trying to follow up onto this. But like we were mentioning a little bit earlier, Mercy can stop most of the follow-up damage that we can do as soon as her beam connects, especially with Ana putting her self-nade on, or putting her nade on herself. That will increase the healing, and it'll make it even harder to get over that threshold of damage that we need to be doing. So with their comp under us, I'm just going to be looking to find ways to pressure their backline here a little bit. Get a decent roll through onto their Mercy and their Genji. We hear their Ana nade get used. I'm going to look for another roll through here and then immediately back up towards our team. We see their Ana still on main. But as their Genji gets nanoed, that's going to be a reason for me to try to peel for my team. Blade gets used. And we are able to find the kill onto their Genji, finding a nice little grapple spot off of some broken rubble. Tracer still is within our team. It is overtime has proc, so I'm just going to put mines on point, making it really difficult for the enemy team to touch whatsoever. And we will be successful in stalling them out for this round. Just always trying to find my way onto the Mercy, since if their Mercy ends up going unmarked with one of their DPS players on like an angle, or is able to pocket their Queen on the objective, we're not going to have too many options to really deal with it. So I'm just going to be I'm just constantly going to be trying to get onto their Mercy and just sort of slowly make it so that they can't do as much or be all around the map at once. Is Widow or Mercy higher priority? I would say probably in most instances, if a Widow is in a deadly spot or is in a really strong spot, finding pressure and or a kill onto the Widowmaker is really good. How I often end up having to do it is I'll get onto the Widowmaker, and if the Mercy comes to peel the Widowmaker, then I'll usually swap to the Mercy, since their Widow would need to be shooting us to stop us from just kind of like blowing up their Mercy over time, if it's like just like a 2v1. But initially on your first hit, probably marking out the Widowmaker is a little bit higher priority, because if their Widow is left unmarked for a while, you're just kind of putting the hands or the game into the hands of the Widowmaker. There's just a chance they could Thanos snap someone. But walking into this next round here, you see they're on right side, their Torb, Junker, Queen on main. There's not going to be too much that we really have to do right now as we have free cart push. So I'm just going to do exactly that and push the cart for a while until I see an opportunity to go. Main things I have to be worried about is taking too much damage on my exit from their Torbjorn, or in dodging the Sleep Dart and the Junker Queen Knife are going to be the two, or the big things I really have to worry about in this matchup. So now that their team has actually touched the objective, I'm just going to take some space here. Freya has backed up towards the rest of their squishies. We see the Mercy a little bit split here, but we can find a good slam onto the Torbjorn. I see the Junker Queen looking at me though, so I'm immediately trying to just live. We almost take a little bit too much damage, and unfortunately, as this Mega is still coming back, I'm just going to AFK here for a moment, using my third person vision to scout to see if anyone's trying to chase me. But it looks like that's not the case. So Freya does know that I'm here, so I'm just going to wait. I don't want to be taking too much damage unnecessarily. I'm going to wait for the Freya to look somewhere else. Unfortunately, not able to get that double loop on that Ana, unfortunately, quite. But we do find the kill onto their Freya and their Torbjorn at once, so the Mercy can only res one, and I'll be coming back into the fight pretty soon. My Emre gets into a really aggressive position and try to deny the res onto the Freya, and they are successful in doing so, which is massive trade for us. Junker Queen's still left alone on the cart. I'm going to have to pressure out this Ana pretty soon, since I'm not able to win the trade onto the Junker Queen without or while they're getting healed. So I'm just going to be trying to pressure this backline as much as I can. Those little cogs are really consistent ways to find super jumps. So if you're looking to be a ball player, it's very, very handy to know that that's a way that you can get on the high ground pretty easily, pretty consistent. Or if you're just trying to learn ball, those spots are a really good way to learn how to super jump, because they're one of the easier ones, or the easier sort of places to do it in the game. As a Junker Queen walks forward, I'm gonna use this bubble to try and blow them up, and we are successful in doing so. Didn't even need the stun, but with too many ultimates dumped on the point for our team, we are going to be winning this game. Wonderful, wonderful news for us. I was a little bit nervous as we loaded into this lobby, since we are going to since we were kind of a low heal comp, and I was thinking about trying to force D.Va, but I think that Wrecking Ball is just going to be a little bit too good there, and I've definitely had more fun on Ball than I probably would on D.Va, but I'm going to try to play D.Va for this next game. So let's see how that one goes. Bang. Usually my meds are able to sort of like normalize my energy, but I'm just so tired today. So Twitch streamers always need you to practice, right? Bro, you're the one putting us in here. Genji might get a little bit of a buff. Torb's gonna go untouched for the 90th time. Hanzo, I think, is unexplored right now. I think Hanzo's actually pretty good, but I think just not many people actually play him. Tracer, they're probably gonna buff Tracer a bit, unfortunately. Vendetta could use a slap on the wrist. Junkrat, never buff Junkrat. they're good as they are. A good player will make Junkrat good, but if Junkrat as a hero is too good, then the game becomes really rough. I don't think that they would buff Junkrat. I think they might give Dead a slap on the wrist though. Hold on 1 second. Let me look something up. DMs. Manage energy somehow. I feel like Mei is gonna get nerfed. Maybe nerfed is something that could happen, yeah. I don't even know what they nerf about Mei. I mean, she is just kind of like a hyper generalist. I do think that Mei's value is still even now it's still unexplored, even though she's being played more in like pro play. I think there's still a lot to Mei that hasn't been touched yet. Maybe like her range. Maybe like her icicle does a little bit too much damage, and that's what they'd want to take away, since that is one of the big things about like the Sig Mei Mizu comp, is its range is just kind of ridiculous. Deleting Deep Freeze could be something. It is kind of crazy.
Select your hero. Choose hero bands. Welcome to Runasapi.
Okay. And locking into our probably last game for our tank rank lessons. Gonna be on Lifeweaver, Zarya, Roadhog, and Tracer being the bans on Runasapi. I'm gonna be leaning into some D.Va here, as it was the one requested tank that I wasn't able to get to yet, so I'm going to be leaning into it here. With D.Va on my comp, I'm going to be trying to sort of be like an all-around kind of floater. I do have the hiccups now. As we see their comp, we see a Sigma Cassidy. These are kind of harder heroes to play into. Sig Cass, Detta are all going to be a little bit difficult for D.Va, but as we see their Detta flying up, I'm going to go up onto that roof area and try and help my Mei take some space here. We see their team getting pretty low, so I'm looking for a quick little jab at that Cassidy, and I want to be playing this similarly to how I would on Brawl, where I'm just kind of taking a lot of aggression. I'm going for some like sort of quick jabs, pressuring out the enemy team and making it so that they are bleeding resources as the fights go on. But I don't want to be committing too much to any specific play, since most of their comp, if they hit a rock onto me, if their Detta's able to swing on me for a while, or if their Cassie's able to hit a good flash and right click, I will usually just be going down. So there, I was able to tank that rock because I didn't have, they didn't have any sort of big damage to follow up on it. We see their Detta and their Cassie on this left side. I'm going to be trying to get onto this Cassie, and we are successful in doing so. Detta gets 1 HP. I'm going to eat the Kiriko healing to make sure that they can't stabilize as they're blocking, and that will be allowing us to find the kill onto that Detta, and then soon after the Kiriko. And now that everyone else is gone, we can just turn around and blow up the tank on the point. Great plays from my team, and I think that just sort of finding the weak area on the map to actually take a fight into, like that Cassidy being alone, I didn't see any supports with them, was going to be a big enough trigger for me to look to step forward. They are on Sombra now, which is going to be a little bit annoying to deal with. I'm going to maybe be trying to lean towards my Ana a bit here. So actually, believe it or not, jumping off the map is not advisable. Unfortunately, my boosters just went a little bit too long there, and I wasn't able to necessarily stay on the map as I went to force out the Orisa, or not the Orisa, the Sombra, and I will just kind of instantly throw that fight. Even it happens. It's not it's frustrating if it happens to you, but it will happen. Literally every single player at some point does it. Every single player, and like no matter what rank you are, will have moments like that. So be a little forgiving for yourself. It's not like the end of the world. I was thinking about bombing there, but unfortunately I think as their team is just sort of all stacked and brawling, I didn't think that I would have the greatest chance to find that remech. As my cat finds a kill into their Sigma though, that's going to be a really big opportunity for me to maybe potentially step main. If I do get hacked as their dead is swinging onto me, I think that might just be kind of a lose con or a easy way for me to die. But as their dead gets 1 HP, I'm going to be looking to try and find that kill. We are successful in doing so. Amazing early poke from my team. The Sigma is coming back pretty fast here. Rock coming out to deter me from chasing their Lucio a little bit more, so I'm just going to be backing up, chilling a little bit here, and there's our Sigmas on this right side. That will be a good trigger for me. Fortunately not able to find that kill until Lucio. Their Detta is able to swing on me somewhat for free here. But I think that with their Lucio go... Hello? Let me ult. It's not letting me ult. Okay. With our Blizzard being used, I get hacked, and now I'm just going to be chilling because that hack came out onto me, and now I want to be immediately walking up to help out my Mei as much as I can. Unfortunately, Flux is a little bit too much for me to handle here, and I will be going down. I was not on the objective. Ideally, anytime they get D.MON that is D.Va, you want to be finding your way onto the objectives to make it so that the enemy team cannot sort of full stagger you. But unfortunately I wasn't able to get onto the cart quite fast enough there. So Detta and the Lucio are on that right side. I could look to go fight that or force them out, but I really don't want to be committing too much to any sort of specific fight, as if I do, there's a very big chance that I will get hacked, potentially just blown up. Fortunate hack onto my jetpack cat is going to make it so that we can't find the exact drag off the map, and as their Lucio gets away, I'm going to just turn my attention towards the point here. Amazing wall from my Mei is going to allow us to continue to chase down the Sigma and the Lucio. Dodging the rock, even though there's a chance for it to hit one of my teammates behind me, I want to make sure that I was here to potentially follow up. Using my boosters to get away, and now trying to get my Pharah out of that sticky situation, and now I can continue going back to the sort of like jab playstyle. Backing up and trying to develop an angle here, and I do find my way onto their Vendetta and Lucio. Big freeze from my Mei. I was just holding DM on that Sigma because their Kiriko was pressured to use their Suzu. and there's a very high chance that they would end up throwing their Suzu into the Sigma there. I think that they might have their EMP. Yes, they do. But that will be allowing me to follow up onto their Sombra in after they use their teleporter up to get themselves into a good position to EMP. I can just chase them down further and further to find that kill fully. I think that they're still down quite a few people here, so I'm just going to be walking forward. I do have my bomb. Wow. I thought that their team would be a little bit more frontline focused with their Sigma using Flux and everything. But unfortunately that idea seems not to work. And like I say, kind of every time that I'm on push, in tournament match and scrims and in these ranked lessons, push doesn't really start until the last 2 minutes. Since if you have one good ult trade or one good ult cycle in those sort of last 2 minutes, you'll be able to kind of get back any distance that the enemy team has a lead on you. Their Detta and their Sigma are there, so I'm just going to be immediately backing up, trying to help out my Mei here. Fortunately, I don't know if there's too much I can do about that. Poking out their team, Sombra and Detta and Lucio are looking at me, so I'm just going to be staging on this left side a little bit soon here. I hear their Sigma on right, so I'm going to be trying to play this sort of weak space area. Sombra and... wow, okay. Their whole team looking to feel me anytime I go on one of those angles. Since their team is very good in D.Va, that's why I sort of emphasize playing that non-committal playstyle, but I just don't have the Spider Sense gene on D.Va developed, unfortunately, to be aware in time for situations like that. But as the game just started, they use their Kitsune Rush and their Flux and their Detta ult. There's a chance that we could potentially bring this back. Not able to find the kill onto that Lucio in time, but I can stall point for a decent bit longer. Beat coming out from the enemy team, Blizzard coming out from ours, Sigma falling very low HP, but it looks like as they push the card a little bit further, my Mei finds a way onto it, but that might be the end of this game, unfortunately. Not my best performance on D.Va, but it was playable. It was definitely doable into if I was able to play a little bit less committal on those sort of lanes, if I was able to bait out more of their cooldowns. But alas, sometimes they will have a comp that's very difficult to play into. I'm not saying that it's impossible to play into as D.Va. It's just D.Va is not one of my preferred heroes or one of my super duper comfortable heroes in this exact moment. So it'll be a little bit too hard for me in that moment. But that will be okay for now. But that will be the end of today's tank rank lesson. So for my YouTube video audience, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Bang. Does EV stand for effort values? It didn't initially, but later it was kind of I did make an effort value account. Let me stop recording. You just played a game that I think is perfect for review. Just post it in the Discord. Is there anything that you should do that you're not aware of? Just put it in there. Keep an eye on streams for you to get to it. Yep. I usually just cover them on streams. Sometimes I'll be making it into videos a little bit later. Yeah, I sound more and more sad the longer you go on. I'm not sad exactly, but I am incredibly super tired. My meds usually regulate my energy a bit, but what would be the best thing for me to do here? I do want to do some coaching today before sleep stream starts now. I could legit sleep stream. Yeah, I think that I probably am going to be doing some viewer coaching a little bit later, probably ideally like an hour or two before my warm-up. Warm-up starts at 7, so if I take like an hour nap now and then A 2-hour nap now? 4, 5, 6. And then that'd give me an hour to look at a code or so. Maybe that could be good. That could be good. Yeah. Alright. I think I do. I have a very important match a little bit later, so I'm going to try to regroup any sort of energy that I can for tonight. Or for now. I will post updates in the Discord server, but I am probably going to end stream here. I'm sorry it's way, way, way earlier than expected. I've been going through a little bit of a diet shift as well as there's some other IRL stuff. So my energy levels are not as stable as they previously were. But I'm going to be streaming later no matter what. At least the match. At bare minimum, I will be streaming my match. I do really, really, really want to do viewer coaching beforehand. Before that match, but I am very, very tired. So let me see if I can find someone to raid really quickly. Oh, let's raid Kindred. Kindred's cool. Okay. So I will be back later tonight, gang. Raid Kindred W. Bang. So I'll be back later tonight. Sorry I wasn't able to get immediately into viewer coaching stuff, but I'm going to be trying to do so a little bit later tonight. I appreciate all of your guys' understandings. Did the raid work? Oh yes, there it is. Wonderful. Okay, thanks for tuning in everyone. I go for now. I'll be back later. Bye bye.